Who created God? Exploring one of humanity's deepest questions. Since ancient times, humans have wrestled with profound existential questions, and one of the most enduring and perplexing is, if God created us, then who created God? This seemingly simple inquiry touches on some of the deepest mysteries of existence. Crossing the boundaries of science, philosophy, and theology, it challenges our understanding of causality, time, and the very nature of existence itself. To explore this question, we must look at how various religious traditions, philosophical arguments, and scientific theories address it. While none of these approaches provide a definitive answer, they offer thought-provoking perspectives on this ultimate mystery. Gods and eternity. In many of the world's major religions, particularly Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, God is described as eternal. This means that God exists outside of time and space, without a beginning or an end. In these traditions, God is often portrayed as the ultimate creator, but unlike the things that God created, he does not require a creator. For instance, in the Bible, when Moses asks for God's name, God responds, "I am who I am," Exodus 3:14. This phrase is often interpreted to mean that God is self-existent. His existence is necessary, and he depends on nothing else to exist. In the Quran, a similar idea is expressed. God is described as, "He begets not, nor is he begotten," Quran 112:3, which implies that God was not born and did not come into existence through some external force. God, in these views, is uncreated and exists beyond the limitations of time. This idea of an eternal God who exists beyond human understanding is central to the theology of many religious traditions. To ask, who created God, in these contexts, is to misunderstand the nature of God, as he is viewed as the ultimate source of everything, including the concepts of time and causality themselves. Philosophers, too, have tackled this deep question, often approaching it from the perspective of causality. Human experience tells us that everything seems to have a cause. If something exists, something must have brought it into existence. But if everything has a cause, does this logic apply to God? The ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle proposed a solution to this problem with his concept of the unmoved mover. Aristotle argued that everything in the universe is in motion, but each movement is caused by something else. If this chain of causes stretched back infinitely, it would lead to an infinite regress, which Aristotle found unsatisfactory. Therefore, he reasoned that there must be a first cause or an unmoved mover that set everything else into motion. This being, by definition, is itself uncaused and eternal. In the medieval period, Christian philosopher Thomas Aquinas expanded on Aristotle's ideas in his cosmological argument. Aquinas agreed that there must be a first cause, which he identified as God. In his view, asking who created God misunderstands the nature of God as the uncaused cause of all existence. Aquinas, like Aristotle, argued that the chain of causes must end with a being that exists necessarily and does not require a creator. Another influential philosopher, Immanuel Kant, took a different approach. Kant argued that the concept of an uncaused first cause may be beyond the grasp of human reason. According to Kant, our minds are structured to understand the world through the lens of time, space, and causality. As such, we may not be capable of fully comprehending a being that exists outside these constraints. For Kant, questions like, who created God, highlight the limitations of human reason when it comes to understanding the ultimate nature of reality. The scientific perspective. What about the Big Bang? While science does not typically address theological questions directly, it offers important insights into the origins of the universe. The Big Bang theory is the most widely accepted explanation for how the universe began. According to this theory, the universe started from a singularity. an infinitely dense point that rapidly expanded approximately 13.8 billion years ago, leading to the formation of galaxies, stars, and planets. But what caused the Big Bang? This is where science faces its own version of the question, who or what set the universe into motion? Some scientists, like physicist Stephen Hawking, have suggested that the universe could have emerged from nothing due to the laws of quantum mechanics. In this view, the universe's creation did not require a divine cause. Instead, the very laws of physics allowed the universe to spontaneously come into being without a creator. Others, however, argue that the existence of these laws of physics may point to a higher intelligence. If the laws that govern the universe are finely tuned to allow life to exist, could this suggest a creator? This question brings us to another speculative scientific theory, the multiverse. The multiverse theory suggests that our universe might be just one of many universes, each with different physical laws. If this is true, then our universe may have been created by the conditions of another universe in a larger multiverse. But this only raises more questions. If a multiverse exists, where did it come from? Who or what created the multiverse? The nature of time and eternity. At the heart of the question, who created God, lies another profound mystery, the nature of time. Human beings experience time as linear, moving from the past through the present into the future. But many religious traditions and even some scientific theories suggest that time itself may not exist in the way we understand it. In many religious traditions, God exists outside of time. In this view, God is eternal and unchanging, existing in a state where there is no before or after. If this is true, then the idea of God needing a creator does not make sense. Causality, the idea that every effect must have a cause, applies to the universe within time, but not necessarily to a being that exists outside time altogether. This concept is difficult for us to grasp because our entire experience is framed by time. We are born, we live, and we die within the flow of time. The idea of something existing eternally outside of the constraints of time and space is almost unimaginable to us. But the mystery remains. So, if God created us, who created God? Ultimately, this question might be beyond the reach of human understanding. Science, philosophy, and theology each provide valuable perspectives, but none can offer a complete and final answer. Religious traditions present God as eternal and self-existent, needing no creator. Philosophers argue that the chain of causality must stop somewhere, with an uncaused first cause or unmoved mover. Science, while explaining the origins of the universe, leaves open the question of what or who set the universe into motion. In the end, the mystery of God's existence and the origins of the universe may remain unsolved, but this question, who created God, invites us to continue exploring, learning, and reflecting on the nature of existence, time, and the universe. Whether through faith, reason, or curiosity, the search for answers to life's biggest questions is a journey that defines what it means to be human.